Tanner family is already in the chat. Good to see you. Beautiful Sunday. I was going to try to do the show back by the pool, but my wife took over the pool, so I couldn't infringe on her pool time. So here I am under me, what is this called? You guys keep telling me different names. I get lanai, I get gazebo, so many different names for this thing. Whatever it is I'm on the other side of the house. Good to see everyone. 2 folks in the chat. Cheers. Just gorgeous, gorgeous day. I didn't take my walk yet. That's on my agenda. Tina Wright, hello. Fuzzy Doxy, hello. I try to do a mile a day these days to walk, get my hip back in shape. It's tough though. After it, the pain is a little bit tough, but David Kahn, Bill checking in from Naples, Florida. Beautiful there, David. I'm going to look at a place to rent over the winter in Jupiter. I like the East Coast better than the West Coast. The West Coast is beautiful too, but a little different. Diane Krause, hello, Fuzzy Doxy. The temperature today, I'd say, is in the 80s, 85 maybe. Cherry Hill, hi, Bill. Sherry Hill. Diane Ellis, hello, Sergeant Bill. How are you, Diane? Great to see everyone. Tina Wright, would I move there? Yes, I would definitely move there. My wife doesn't want to leave her job yet, but I want to test something out by renting something. And yeah, the concert was great. I didn't stay as long. My wife stayed all the way to the end, so it's tough for me to sit in a chair for that long. So I went home, and a couple hours later I went back and picked her up. It's like 15 minutes from where we live, so it was easy, and it was an outdoor concert. She loved it. This must have been 15 or 20 bands over the course of the day. It's nice. Us old hippies get to hear some rock and roll, Gloria Fritz, hello everyone. Where's Lieutenant Pete? Lieutenant Pete just turned 76 yesterday. Lieutenant Peter Pranzo, happy birthday. I know I said it yesterday. I hope you had a great day. I'm sure everyone here would like to look as good and feel as good as Lieutenant Pete. Aunt BB, Bill, I heard about the Bodega guy in New York. Yeah, guys, if you don't know, there was a like an altercation inside a Bodega, and I think it sort of escalated to like a robbery. And the guy who owned the store was defending his store against this thug, and he stabbed and killed the guy. And the district attorney, rather than not charging him and saying this is justification, he arrests the store owner and charges him with murder, which is like totally ridiculous. So the court of public opinion has all come out against District Attorney Bragg, because it really is ridiculous. And what could happen, what could put this to sleep right away, is if the store owner testifies in front of a grand jury and the grand jury refuses to indict, case is over. And I think that could very well happen. Let's see if his attorneys advise him to testify. Tina Wright, nothing new on Summer Wells. I haven't heard anything new, which means there's nothing new. I mean, there's so many people reporting on that case. And nothing new on Summer Wells. That's all. I'll leave it at that. So what's going on, guys? Who's doing something really cool today? Anyone going out on a boat? Going out to the beach? Beautiful beach day around here today. Just drop dead gorgeous. I don't see Phil. Phil must not have been notified that I went live. He's straight out of Brooklyn, right? Fuzzy Doxy, it's ridiculous that you can't defend yourself and your property. Agreed. Brett's mom, and it was all captured on video. Yeah. It was captured on video, and the store owner was not the aggressor. He was the one being attacked. Look, I think he's going to get off. Cherry Hill, going to the gym, good for you. I'm not ready to go back to the gym yet. Another couple of weeks. I can't wait, because how long it takes you to build muscle and how fast you'll lose it if you don't continue, doing your exercises. But then there's something called muscle memory, and the muscle remembers, hey, I used to be bigger. So you don't have to work all that hard to get it back. You get it back, right? So I'm going to go in the pool today. I went in a couple of days ago. I'm going to go in. Walking back and forth is good for my, good for me hip. Did you guys see there was a thing on YouTube, Billy Joel? Billy Joel, like me, just had a new hip. And at the same time, he had a bad back. He must have lost 50 pounds. He looks so, he looks so good. And he said the same thing that I was thinking. After you have surgery, you just don't feel like eating. So it's like you just magically lose weight. And it's just because you don't have the appetite, and then a lot of times the medication you take, you just don't feel like eating. And of course, in my case, my doctor told me not to drink any wine. So I've been totally alcohol free right now for like over 5 weeks. So Anna Sweden, hello, love, hugs, and positive vibes sent to you all from Sweden. Sweden. Good to hear from you on the other side of the world, right? So my lawn looks pretty good, right? I just got a cut the other day. This week coming up, Kim Alliston needs a swimming pool at the moment. This week coming up, I'm having 2 dead trees removed. How exciting, right? Sherry Hill, glad your hip is doing better. Thank you so much. You just gotta, stay with it, put up with the pain, and forge forward. Logan McGraw, have you had any rain there? No, hasn't rained in the last, probably week. The lawn is brown behind me. I think that part right there that's where the septic tank is. So a lot of times the grass doesn't grow because they're always opening it back up to do a treatment or whatever. So that's why that is. Maybe I shouldn't have that in my background. I can always move the camera this way. Then I have to move over a little bit, right? Let me see. Yeah, this is some property, isn't it? It looks like it's much bigger than it is. Really, my property is just about an acre. And, there's people all around here, like the people across the street, they have like 2.5 acres. And then their land borders state property, so they have like literally hundreds of acres adjoining their property. It's just gorgeous. And their house is it's a landmark. Fools are us, Bill, you're an actor and we know it. You think I'm acting about my hip? I would not act about that, I'll tell you that much. I would not even, it's too much work. Rhett's mom, you're not far from me. I'm in Jersey. We had a bit of rain yesterday. Are you near the Jersey Shore? Beautiful there. Point Pleasant, Manasquan, Brielle, all those areas of the Jersey Shore. No, the hip isn't ceramic. There's steel parts in there because they give you the card. So when you fly and you set off the X-ray, that you could just show them the card. But they don't care. They look at it and they say, all right, show a Homeland Security guy a card that you got a new hip. Titanium, yeah, but there's some there's some steel in there because it does. Josh, there's Josh, our engineer, the general manager. Josh is doing some. Joe Murray. Joe, where you been, man? I feel like almost you've been neglecting me. Joe Murray, who's our biggest benefactor. Great attorney, Joe Murray. If you need an attorney in the Northeast, Joe's your man, And Joe, you go to the Jersey Shore all the time, don't you? Aren't you you're so busy, Joe. You're so busy eating hamburgers and hot dogs right now, No, he is a busy guy. He's got a crazy busy law practice. But hey, isn't it better to be busy than to not have any work? I mean, if you want to work. Not in years. So, you haven't been to the Jersey Shore in years. I thought you had a place on the Jersey Shore. But Tina Wright, coffee with Cannon. Yeah, but today though I'm drinking one of these Snapple iced teas, and this is by no way an ad because they don't pay me anything, but it's good because it has 0 calories. So it gives you that little jolt, but yet it also has 0 calories. So Fuzzy Doxy, Rhett's mom. Yeah, so a lot of stuff going on in New York. New York is having a big problem with police officer retention. So many cops are just quitting the job, quitting, retiring, leaving early, vesting out. And they showed a picture, I think it was last week. There was hundreds of people. There was a 6-hour wait at the pension section to put your papers in and actually retire. Lieutenant Pete, hey Bill and all the great POTC chat friends, thank you for all the happy birthday wishes. Love you all. Rachel at a wedding shower. Lieutenant Pete, as I said, he turned 76 years old yesterday. Happy birthday, Lieutenant Pete. We all love you here at Police Off the Cuff. Everyone was wishing you a happy birthday. I'm sure you had an amazing birthday. What Italian restaurant did you go to yesterday, Lieutenant Pete? Bill Ryan is on the air. Joe Murray, hi Anna Sweden, glad to see you. When's Joe Murray ever going to come back on his own podcast? Allegedly guilty. It seems like that's been put in mothballs. We have to bring him on our shows because his own podcast, Allegedly Guilty, has been put on mothballs. Brad R, hey Joe Murray, can you believe the NYPD having a hard time retaining the police? Joe represents a lot of those guys. And not only were they having a hard time retaining people, but they were firing people for not getting the vaccination. And Joe saved someone's job. He was the only attorney, I think, that was successful. Jersey Devil, good to see you. He was the only attorney that was successful in saving someone's job that they wanted to fire for not getting the vaccination. These are strange times we live in, you know? Very strange. Rhett's mom, I dated a retired C.L. Rikers when things were a bit better. Joe Murray says it's scary that they're losing so many. What is the city going to be like? And, you know, if you were a New York City cop right now with the climate of being a cop, wouldn't you jump to another department if you could? Nassau, Suffolk, they both pay more. Not only do they pay more, but it's a better climate. The electorate, the public, they appreciate you more. They back their police. New York City is a joke. I don't know if any of you guys watched the episode I did with Mike Riley, who's a representative from Staten Island. He's in Albany all the time, and he was challenging this guy that was talking about, you know, the Supreme Court open carry law. You would think that they were handing gun permits to criminals. These are honest citizens. And our government, Hochul, the governor, and Adams, the mayor, that you would act like, oh, this is going to cause huge gunfights in the street. Just absolute nonsense, you know? Joe Murray, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABCD, there is something going on. Lieutenant Pete went to Ruvo's. I knew you went to an Italian restaurant. Ruvo's in Port Jefferson. Look at that, Lieutenant Pete. We're giving him a free commercial. What'd you eat, Lieutenant Pete? What's your favorite Italian dishes? Probably a lot of everything. There had to be some pasta. Let's see. What does Lieutenant Pete like? Maybe some lobster because it was your birthday. Some bouillabaisse maybe. Sampling all the different types of seafood. Some Jacqueline Moore, good afternoon. Watching the show. The background is beautiful. I live in Harlem near the store where the clerk himself, a very nice man. Joe Murray, Carl Palladino is looking for a counsel to file a lawsuit challenging the new gun laws. Well, I'm your Huckleberry. You know, Joe, I just don't get it, man. I just don't get it. The reason it's so difficult to understand is that Kerry Hawks, thank you so much. Absolutely love watching your episode in regards to active shooters. Thank you. I tried to put a little more science into it, not just entertainment. No matter how you approach any subject in a podcast, there's always people that are going to love what you do, and there's people that are going to say, "Oh, you should have did this, or you should have did that, or you should have done, something." Dude, get your own podcast. I do it the way I want to do it, and something. There's a thing called the channel changer. You don't like it? Leave the channel, right? Lovebug53, good to see you. Good to see you. Logan McGraw, I love that name. Where is your co-host? Is he on vacation? No, I don't. Phil is my co-host, but I don't do every single show with him because sometimes it's a scheduling thing. When I want to go on the air, I just, boom, I go on the air. I don't want to have to call him up and say, "Oh, you're free," because, chances are he's not. And pretty soon we're going to have a second channel coming up. It's going to be called Cannon's Real Crime Stories. And we're going to do shorter podcasts, like 10-minute, 15-minute, and maybe even some educational stuff. And Phil's going to have a little more freedom where he's going to be able to actually go on the air by himself also. So with that new channel, Josh is working on it with us. And once we put it out, we're subject to all the YouTube rules. Cat D, thank you for the $5 super chat. Happy Sunday. Thank you for what you do. Thank you, Cat D. Love Bug, how's your hip feeling? As well as can be expected. I have to do my mile walk later. I can't say I'm really that much looking forward to it, but I'm going to do it anyway, right? So Carrie Hawks, representing Kingston, New York, the unofficial 6th borough. But you spelled borough B-U-R-R-O-W. I thought it was spelled B-O-R-O-U-G-H. But you spelled it almost like the burrow, like the donkey. I like it, though. I like it. Brad, Bill, how come you're not out running, getting some exercise? Because I just got a new hip, if you haven't been paying attention. I have two hips. 3 years ago, my left hip was done, and 5 weeks ago, I just got a new right hip. So that's why I'm not running, but I will be walking later. People do run after getting a new hip. It's got to be tough. Talk to text fails me every time. Amanda Simpson. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is well. It's scorching here in Yorkshire, so the pup and I are hiding inside. The pup. Goodness, Bill, it's 5 weeks already. In fact, Tuesday I go see my orthopedic surgeon and ask him, how come it still hurts? How come it's still swollen? Some people stay awake when they have that done, not me. The surgeon has a hammer, actually has a hammer, and is slamming that thing in there. Imagine you're awake watching him or listening to him slam that thing in there. I don't think so, Bob Cosmic, formerly from Laurelton, New York. Robo Kathy, hard to handle. Glad to see you. I'm going to make some life changes. Work. I haven't worked. I haven't worked like a regular job, like where you punch a clock, for over 5 years. As you guys know, I taught college, and then I left and I wanted to do other things. I was pursuing acting, stand-up comedy. I was auditioning all the time for commercials. So I did that, and then I sort of fell into the podcast, and we've been doing this podcast now for over 3 years. And even though it's not a big money maker, it's a lot of time. I easily spend, I'd have to say 6 to 8 hours a day working on this podcast, reading up. Sergeant George Eshog, good to see you, Sarge. Staying up on the news. When you do a show, you got to prep for the show. Setting up the show. Jersey Devil, can we call you Hippie Bill? You can call me whatever you want. Hippie Bill. Hippie Bill, that's pretty funny. You used to call me the Supreme Commander from my anti-crime days. Fuzzy Doxy, wow, Bill. Guys, 69 in the chat. Let's hit 100 today. We didn't hit it. We're just 70, so we got 30 more. We get to hit 100. Guys, if you're not subscribed to this, Mrs. Kurt Cobain, hi, Bill. Another beautiful day. Absolutely. If you're not subscribed to Police Off the Cuff, please go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell. It's free, absolutely free to subscribe. If you want to support us, look at Lieutenant Pete. This is the menu from yesterday. Eggplant palm, whole wheat pots, pasta, watching the calories. Look at that. 76 years old. Lieutenant Pete looks fantastic. and he's watching his calories. Good for you, Lieutenant Pete. And I know you had a great birthday. Brad R., it's good to hear from you, Bill. Great to hear from you, Brad. Amanda Simpson helped me through the lockdown along with Duty Ron and Joe Murray. Gail Salatori, good morning, everyone. Beautiful morning here in Lakeport. It's just a beautiful day. It was a good day. I did not have to use my AK. None of my friends got killed today. It was a very good day. Hey, hey. I used to sing that to my class in my college, and they got a kick out of it, you know. Fuzzy Doxy, it's unbelievable that you don't have at least double the subscribers. Look, we're working on it. We're just working hard at it. Brad R., haha. And BB Rapper Bill. Beautiful day in the mountains. It's beautiful everywhere today, man. The summer's gorgeous. I told you guys I'm looking for a place in Florida, actually in Jupiter, Florida, for the winter from November through May 1st. And I'd like to spend the whole winter there and do my show from Florida. With the goal of very soon in the next couple of years moving to Florida. Get away from the New York taxes, the crazy New York politics, the nutty New York electorate, and go to a red state, you know. I want to be in a red state so I don't have to sweep the leg. Bill, you and the crew remind me every day why I moved out of the city to more rural area. Love the channel and the work you all do. Thank you so much. That's very kind. Gerda Kotsky, happy birthday at Mrs. Kurt Cobain. 78 in the chat. We need 22 more to hit that century. Let's get that century, guys. 100. If you don't know what a century is, it's 100. I know you all know what it is. Fuzzy Doxy, Florida's the best, but Florida's got to be really tough in our summertime, right? It's got to be almost unbearable, right? So if you could come back to the Northeast, maybe for like June, July, August, maybe May, June, July, August, and then September, October, go back to Florida. Right, Trish Norman, no retirement tax, no state tax, cheaper property, open carry. Well, I have HR 218, which is the federal law, which the law says you're allowed to carry in any state if you have that, as long as you qualify once a year. Cherry Hill, hot and humid here in New Mexico, over 100 all week. Wow. Hard to handle. I don't like gators. Mount Dora is awesome, but on the beach, there's always a breeze by the beach. The only crazy thing that I could see about Florida is the way people drive cars. I don't know if you guys watched during the Brian Laundrie and the Gabby Petito case. I was down in Florida and I drove on a road called 75 towards the Myakkahatchee Preserve, and I went to the Myakkahatchee Preserve, and that's of course where they found Brian Laundrie's body. That preserve was like a spooky place, man. They got those feral pigs all over. I didn't see any, but I heard there's hundreds of them. You know, there's snakes, there's alligators. I walked in, and during the day, like the trees and everything overhang. I forget what they call that. So it's almost like it's dark as you walk in there. And I'm walking in there, and all the people that are watching me are like, "Bill, don't do it. Don't go in there." They're like afraid for me, you know. And I wasn't strapped at the time, so I'm just walking in there, and all the police off the cuff fans are going, "Bill, back out, please, don't go in there. It's dangerous in there." So I got a little scared. It's this New York boy going into the Myakkahatchee Preserve, you know. I could have used Joe Murray with me, even with just his boxing skills, you know. Sergeant Bill, at least you will not need to wear socks when you live in Florida. Yeah. I mean, you guys, any of you guys that are Floridians, you guys know Jupiter? Jupiter's like the hottest thing these days. Everyone wants to live in Jupiter. I see a lot of famous people that live there. Not that I give a shit about that, but Michael Jordan lives in Jupiter, Florida. They showed him coming in from fishing with his yacht in the Jupiter Inlet. It was so cool. You know, see his, I don't know, he's probably got like a 50 or 60 foot yacht, and I guess he's big into fishing and stuff, but really nice, huh? Jupiter, well, so Floridians, tell me, Burt Reynolds put Jupiter on the map. You're right, Joe. You're right. A lot of NYPD live in Jupiter. That's one of the reasons I want to go there. A lot of brethren from the NYPD. Jimmy Cohn, who was the CEO of aviation, he lives in Jupiter. And when I go down there, I got to look him up. You know, he was on the show a while ago. Think of a guy that accomplished so much while in the police department. He made full inspector. He's a helicopter pilot. He was the commanding officer of the NYPD aviation unit. And I believe, don't quote me on the rank, but I think he's like a major or something in the Army. And I think he just retired from the Army too. So he retired from the NYPD, he retired from the Army, and he's a commercial pilot. He flies like 10 flights a month for multimillionaires. He flies their private jets, takes them wherever they want to go. Say he flies from Jupiter to Colorado, flies them there, lands the plane, gets on commercial, flies back home, and when they need him, he flies back and he flies them back on their private jet. How cool is that, right? Yeah, I mean, but, you know, he obviously accomplished, he's obviously a smart guy to be able to pass all those tests, you know, the instrument tests, because you're not flying a multimillionaire's private jet unless you know how to fly instruments, right? And so he obviously is a well accomplished pilot, both from the NYPD and from the military. But how cool, he's retired from 2 major jobs and he's working what would be considered 10 days a month. And I guess flying 10 days a month would be considered a full-time flying job, right? Full-time pilot job, because that's, you know, that's a lot, 10. But I have no idea how much money you could make flying a millionaire's private jet. Infamous Truth Teller, hello, how good to see you guys. Folks, if you're not subscribed, go on our YouTube, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, ring that bell, and just smile at us. Tell us how much you love POTC. People get mad at me, and I'll have Josh fix this. Josh, in the Streamlab thing, when it comes up on the screen, it says POC. Could you change that to POTC? People get all bent out of shape, like, oh, POC means people of color. I go, well, we mean it to mean police off the cuff, but if it'll help you, I'll put POTC. But I neglected to have that change. We're going to change it. Wow, look at that, 102 people in the chat. Cheers, guys. 102. I Losi Pot. What is that? Tax cut. 102. Bill, hard to handle. Very cool. My brother and his wife just moved from here in Buffalo, New York to Bradenton, Florida. You know, the only thing is that everyone's moving to Florida now. It's going to get so damn crowded because everyone is moving to Florida. And I think a big thing is the tax policy, right? They don't tax your pension. There's no federal income tax. Real estate tax are much cheaper. And hopefully they won't get enough New York lunatics to flip it from a red to a blue state, because right now I'm happy with it being blue. Thomas Camp, I'm getting married next week. She is 600 pounds. Who cares? Love is blind. Yeah, I'll believe that. I want to see your wedding photos. JT, hi Bill, is it hot here today as it looks there? Too hot? No, it's not. Look, I'm underneath my gazebo, so I don't feel hot at all. Kim Alliston is laughing. Joe Murray, there is no federal income tax in Florida. No. I mean, no, what is it? No payroll tax, I think it is. Love is heavy. Canadians go to Florida in the winter. Everyone's going to Florida. Pretty soon, Joe Murray's going to move his law practice to Florida. Because when Police Off the Cuff moves there, we're going to have to get Joe Murray to move down there so he can do his commercial. So you're looking for a good attorney here in Florida? Joe Murray's your man. He spends half his time in Florida and half in New York. So if you want to split an attorney between those two locales, Joe's your man. Right, no state income tax in Florida. I'm sorry, I'm confusing things, KV. No state income tax, right. And they don't tax your pension. For all of us NYPD guys that are concerned with getting our pension taxed. That Florida's another state that does not tax our pension. So it's a beautiful thing, right? Jeff Crowley, good morning, Joe. It's sad and hot, blah, blah, blah. It's moving too fast. Anna, Sweden, laugh out loud. Sweden's a pretty cool place, right? Bob Cosmic, it's 84 in London, England. Oof, 84 degrees in London, England. Cool, cool, cool. You know, I was going to do the show from, I have another place to sit on the other side of my house, but again, my neighbor was playing his radio a little bit too loud, and I said, I better move to the backyard so I won't be able to hear the radio. So he is. Brad R. Hey, Peter. KV, say hello. Peter, say hello to the family. Thomas Camp. That's the 600-pound wife, Thomas Camp. Is that the same guy? Infamous Truth Teller, Tucson, Arizona. Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner, but he knew it couldn't last. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, Jojo. I noticed, you know, when I started singing, I was at about 100, and I went all the way down to 89. People started fleeing because I was singing Get Back. Now it's building back up. We're at the 94. Amanda Simpson, I love when a tune pops out. That's great. Thank you. Love that song. Yeah, that's a classic Beatle tune, right? I remember when I was a kid, when I used to sing that song, I was like, Tucson, Arizona, because I phonetically... Then someone told me, it's not Tucson, it's Tucson. Oh, okay. It's like in New York City, there's a street called Houston Street, and it's spelled Houston, but it's pronounced Houston. Like, how the hell did that happen? In Texas, it's pronounced Houston, but in New York City, it's pronounced Houston. Willez Perez, good to see you. Thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. I'm late for duty because... it flew by so fast. Hey, Bill, what did you think of the Three Stooges? I loved the Three Stooges. I thought they were hilarious. I used to watch that as a kid all the time. I mean, there was different lineups of the Three Stooges, right? Mo, Larry, and Curly, and then there was a guy Shemp, right? And there was a couple of different lineups. But there you look, Jacqueline Moore. My God, that song brings good memories. Jacqueline Moore, thank you. I'm glad it does. Get back, get back. That's like a classic, like blues rock and roll song. You know that's. Jojo left his home in Tucson, Arizona, for some California grass. Get back, get back, get back to where you once belonged. Get back, Jojo. Your mama's waiting for you. She's wearing a. What was she wearing? She's wearing a blue neck. No, I can't think of the words. Wearing her something dress and a blue neck sweater. I can't think of that. Vespa Q, that's right, JT. We need President Trump here. He's the only one to handle it. You know, guys, one of my thoughts about the next election for president, I almost wish that I do wish that Trump would step aside and let Ron DeSantis be the nominee. Because I just find that the other side will go balls to the wall against Trump. And they're going to try everything to get him unelected. And I think that Ron DeSantis is a little less offensive. And I don't think they will spend the money to get him unelected. But I think Trump has... Look, they're right now, they're trying to prevent Trump from even running with this January 6th stuff. Joe Murray says we need Donald Trump in 2024. Joe Murray, we need Joe Murray to run for Queens DA again, or Manhattan DA. That's what we need. This Manhattan DA is a disaster. But all the DAs in the city are pretty much, other than the Staten Island one, they're all a disaster, right? But this Manhattan guy, he's got to be kidding. This guy Bragg, I think he may wind up getting removed. Although we don't have a recall system in New York State, we need to get one. We need to get one for governor. We need to get one for district attorney. Although I think, Joe Murray, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the governor can remove the district attorney. Is that correct, Joe? Trump 2024. Hard to handle. I don't believe either. Well, look at, someone said, I don't believe either is any different. They're both going to screw the middle class. But look what's going on now. Joe Murray says yes. So the governor can remove the district attorney. And it's getting awfully close, because if it starts getting where the actions of this district attorney start touching the political aspirations of this governor, she'll get him. She'll get rid of him before you can say Hochul, you know. Well, Joe Murray, cause. How about a district attorney trying to charge a misdemeanor for robbery first degree with a firearm? If that's not a reason to remove a district attorney, I don't know what is. Decarceral policies. Where did these decarceral policies come from? But a billionaire named Soros, who's paying these guys to have the DA's office in his image and his politics. Crazy. But how about the citizenry of New York has to live amongst this crap because the district attorney refuses to prosecute? Anna Sweden, is it not time for a woman president? Just asking. Look, I don't think anyone has any problem with a woman president, but just to elect a woman just because it's a woman, no. The person has to be qualified, the person has to be duly elected, and the person has to represent the people. Just electing someone based on gender, I don't think is a good idea. Jacqueline Moore, Trump is a very smart person. He's got a lot of black people that back him. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. The left tries to say that they don't. Tax cut, bring back Sarah Palin. Wow, Sarah Palin. She sort of seemed like she got out of politics, right? Jersey Devil, I'm a woman. I think it's too soon for a woman in the highest office here. We are too not together for that. Well, look, Hillary Clinton came awfully close to being the president, right? She won the popular vote. Joe Murray, that's actual prosecutorial discretion. Are you talking about charging a misdemeanor for a robbery first degree with a firearm? I find that outrageous. I find that outrageous. The good thing is the spotlight was put on Bragg with this case of the bodega owner who killed the robber. Let's call him a robber. Look at the public sentiment. The public is so backing that guy up. So it looks like that may be egg all over Bragg's face. And it won't be the first time. Joe Murray for Queens DA. That's right, Joe Murray for Queens DA. But you know what it is? It's some of these, the electorate, they're crazy people. They're nuts. The electorate in the Bronx is the one who gave us AOC. And AOC is really from Westchester. She's from a semi-affluent area in Westchester, which is north of where I live, called Yorktown. And she's pretending she's from the Bronx. She's from Westchester, all right? She's acting like she came up through the coal mines or something. No, she's an affluent Westchester person who's pretending that she's Jenny from the Bronx. Maybe she should sing the song Jenny from the Bronx, you know? So these midterms, Bob Cosmic and Gloria and Meathead would be out in front of the White House protesting. Logan McGraw, she is no good. Jersey Devil, I mentioned that case up there. Poor man was under threat and was just defending himself. I was talking about that earlier on, and I think that this case could be resolved by the grand jury just refusing to indict. And that could be the end of it. If no true bill comes down from the grand jury, that case is over with, and it will make Bragg look like the fool that he is, you know? It's like, it's just, you know, another thing I spoke about, or I just posted on LinkedIn, all of these groups are against some of the new technologies like license plate readers, shot spotter, facial recognition, and everything the law enforcement uses that helps them do their job, someone claims it's racist. And they want to take these things away. But you know what the city is putting up, and it's going to start very soon? 24/7 speed cameras that clock you at, once you go over 35 miles an hour, you're going to get a $50 or $100 speeding summons in the mail. To me, that's outrageous. It's just an open cash register for your municipality. It's not making anyone safer. It's making the poor people that pay taxes in New York City, it's hitting them again in the pocketbook. I find it outrageous. And why people don't protest. And then they're also, I think in another year or two, they're putting in something called congestion pricing for you folks that don't live in New York City. So they're going to penalize anyone that brings a damn car into the city. So if you drive in New York City below a certain street, there's going to be like Easy Pass type things. It's going to hit your Easy Pass with another $10, $15 because you drove your car in below a certain street. When are they going to stop hitting the middle class, hitting the taxpayers, you know? I always felt that, you know, them not prosecuting jumping the turnstile was just allowing people not to pay. And guess who's going to pay for it? Yeah, the middle class, through congestion pricing, through speed cameras. Just totally outrageous, this shit, you know? Just outrageous. Maybe you guys don't feel the way I feel, but I think enough is enough. When is the middle class going to say, all right, stop, you know? I and two of my colleagues are going to enter and take on Jose Alba. Good. You got to take these leftist politicians on from the grassroots, and you get out there and pound the pavement. These people are bad news, you know, bad news. And Joe Murray's right. You know, the only way to get out there is to get people to vote. One of the biggest problems in New York is apathy. People simply don't vote. How horrible is that? People don't vote, and that's why we get the candidates we get. If you ever saw Mike Riley and the politician he was interviewing about the open carry law, the guy was a buffoon. I wish I knew remembered his name. He was a buffoon. And I said, that guy doesn't even know the law. I go, he has a law degree? And Mike Riley says, yeah. I go, really? Where the hell did you get that from? A Cracker Jack box? As these lawyers make horrible law like the diaphragm law, like getting rid of qualified immunity, all these laws that hamper the police department, who do you think's making them? So, crazy. Guys, we're at 43 minutes. How do I always talk this much? My God, I got a big mouth, man. I just keep talking, you know. Joe Murray says, I think it was merely a 17% turnout for the primary. Nutty. We got to get behind Joe Murray. Let's make Joe Murray run again. We got to get him out there. He's intimidating to all these Bronx politicians. Lovebug 53, keep talking, Bill. Good discussion. Same with how they got rid of Roe v. Wade. That's like a big national. I think in a way, though, whatever your thoughts are about Roe v. Wade, I think it hurts the Republican Party in a way, because I think they said statistically 60 or 70% are for right to choose. I'll put it that way. Joe Murray, Mayor Adams is going to change all that. Give him a chance. Brad, you're doing good, Bill. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 112, not bad for a 112 in the chat. Not bad for a Sunday afternoon. Just sitting here talking in my gazebo, in me old, in me golden. From across the pound, I'm in me golden. That's what you guys call it. You don't call it a yard. You call it a golden. How do you guys feel about this basketball player that now is imprisoned in Russia? Should we get a high-valued terrorist traded for her? I don't have any desire to see her released. She got what she deserved. And everyone's like crying, oh, get her released. Unbelievable, you know, unbelievable. And did you see the girl, the soccer player that they honored at the White House? The one that kneels for when the playing of the national anthem? What was she getting an award for? I'd love to know that. What was she getting an award for? Unbelievable. Darren Salge, the judges in Houston, Texas should be fired, gave a guy bond twice for capital murder. Betty Smith, she just made a small mistake. Yeah, it's a small mistake unless you do it in Russia. Then it's a big mistake. It's not this country, Russia, right? We cannot let Russia leverage us, Phil Grimaldi says. It's true, but they're talking about they want this high-valued arms trading terrorist to trade for her. I think not. You know, and then it gets this political thing in the paper. They're like, oh, if that was LeBron, he'd be out of it. Who cares? It's all basketball players, you know. Dino Days Honda, thank you for the super chat. Peter Pranzo, hey Chef Dino. You know, it seems like the media tries to make us care about things that I could give a shit about, you know. She decided to bring drugs into Russia. Now let her pay the penalty. Let her pay the piper, you know. And we're supposed to like have tears running down our face, you know. And let's trade a high-value arms-dealing terrorist for her? I don't think so. Anyone else? Anyone shedding tears for her at this point? No one? Hard to handle. Sorry, Bill. I say, look, I don't think she should be held forever, but I certainly wouldn't jump through hoops to get her released. There's a lot of people out there that are more deserving. She was, you know, she's a basketball player, and she brought drugs into Russia, you know. Oh, is the whole country supposed to stop to get her released? And she's another one that doesn't stand for the national anthem, you know. Joe Murray, look at Joe Murray playing devil's advocate. She's an American. She's an American who kneels for the national anthem. WNBA will not notice she's gone. People need to learn responsibility. Brad, she's worth millions. Sherry Hill, right, Phil? Wow. You guys, you know, I'm just saying I think she should be released, but I'm not convinced. Let the WNBA pay a big fine for her to get her released, you know. Let them pay to have her released, you know. I wouldn't go to diplomatic means to have a arms-dealing Russian terrorist traded for her. I don't think so, you know. Let's trade. Let's trade a Spumoni Gardens square pizza. 5 Spumoni Gardens square pizza squares for her. See if they'll take it in Russia. They may say, "Oh, these are hard to get. Let's make the trade." You know. And I learned you can freeze those Spumoni Gardens square pizzas, and when you throw them out, you just put a little bit of just put a little olive oil on the top, a little salt, and put it in the oven. It's good as new. Phil taught me that. He taught me that, you know. Learn to crochet. Well, you know, we had 122 in the chat. We're at 119 now. New Park Pizza, Bob. Wow, 119. Phil Grimaldi, I agree completely. Bill pays attention, that's right. I love pizza. I love Italian food, so. But those squares from Spumoni Gardens, oh my God. Unbelievable. Any of you guys that live near Bensonhurst, Spumoni Gardens, those pizzas are unbelievable. But now I can't even show up there because people recognize me from Police Off the Cuff. We get mobbed. Phil and I get mobbed at Spumoni Gardens. Not. I wish that was true. All right, guys, I'm coming up on 50 minutes. I didn't want to stay on that long. Usually the maximum I stay on is 45. Phil Grimaldi, Gravesend, Bill. San Gennaro Feast in Little Italy, Soho, the best. Just joined, saw Duty Ron's clip on his backyard fireworks. God bless the USA. Guys, I got to get going. I'm coming up on 50 minutes. Thank you so much for listening today. And yeah, everyone, enjoy your Sunday. It's a beautiful day. And, I'm just giving food for thought out there. You can feel whatever way you want about that WNBA basketball player. You think she should be released. You want to give to her a release fund, whatever. I'm sure she shouldn't be held there for what she did, but you think this was the most important story on this earth. Guys, after all, sorry you missed the show. Me too. Anna Sweden. God bless everyone. Scotty Wagner, you're late. Where were you, Scott? How's your back doing, Scott? I hope you're feeling better. Scotty Wagner's been with us for a long time, too. He actually came when we used to do the show in my house. He came to my house. He was the only guy that got lost on the way to my house. But he did a great show with us. Shit, Scotty, that's got to be close to 3 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun, right? All right, guys, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. I'll talk to you soon. Great.